We're pleased to be joined now by the European Ryder Cup team, led by Captain Luke Donald. We'll go ahead and jump right into questions. Starting with Sean, go ahead.
2 years ago, Rory, you seemed to call this shot. Why were you so confident then, and how does it feel to have been right?
It's nice to be right. I'm not right all the time. I have absolute confidence in this team, absolute confidence in our leader, Luke Donald, the vice captains, the backroom staff, the things that people don't see behind the scenes. I think we won in Rome, and the wheels were set in motion to try to do something that hadn't been done in over a decade. And as we talked today, 11 of the 12 on the team are the same. The captain's the same. We believed a lot in our continuity, and I believe that we had a really special group in Rome, and I felt like we had a real, I said that in the euphoria of winning a Ryder Cup, but I really felt like we had definitely way more of a chance than we had in Whistling Straits in 2021. So I was bullish about our chances, but this has just been a dream week, and it obviously was really tight there at the end. It was a bit stressful, but the big lad sitting one right to Luke played an unbelievable last 4 holes, and he carried me through the afternoon yesterday as well. Absolute legend, along with everyone else sitting up here, and just so happy that we could get it done.
Up here to Ryan.
Guys, congratulations, Rory, for you. The fans, oh yeah, go ahead, take your time.
We leave?
Chug. You got any more? Over here. I don't need to tell you about the fans, obviously, but the question is, how do you pick and choose when to interact? Yesterday on 16 in the afternoon, I heard some guy who was like, Roy, you're not that good, and you said, I'm really effing good. And so
I am.
I know you are.
Really good.
I know. But when do you pick and choose when to interact with the fans? Obviously, there's playful banter.
Honestly, I'd say it's just on impulse. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm quite an impulsive character, if you haven't noticed. And sometimes I'll engage, and sometimes I'll catch myself and refrain. But I don't really choose when, and it's sort of, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Would you be okay with another Ryder Cup in this area?
If the result was the same, absolutely.
Up to 18.
Luke in the back here. Keegan was in here a few minutes ago saying that he disagreed with the injury rule that impacted Victor and Harris, and said that it should be changed by the next Ryder Cup. I wanted to get your thoughts, not on how it impacted today, but just on the rule in general.
I think it's been in place since 1971. The US have used it before. I think it's happened in 1991 with Steve Pate. That was a tight Ryder Cup too, 14.5, 13.5. It happened in 1993. Sam Torrance couldn't play with an injured toe. The US won that one. It's just, we have contracts for a reason, and a captain's agreement for a reason, for situations that occur. I want to center it back to Victor. I would have had absolute faith in him to deliver a point today. He couldn't play. He was gutted. He was close to tears to not be able to play. So the rule is the rule, and it's been in place for a long time.
Over here with Luke.
Congratulations, everyone. Justin, for the second, I'm just over here. For the second straight Ryder Cup, you've led everyone in putting, and yesterday you gained more strokes with your putter than the entirety in Rome. How do you do this? What's it like when you get into this superhero role?
So mature.
I wish I knew. I wish I could be a bit more selfish and know that 25 weeks of the year. But do you know what I mean? I feel like the power of this, the power of the group, who knows what it is, that ability to lock in, the ability to just want it that little bit more. I don't know. The answer to your question is I don't know. Other than the badge and the boys, honestly. And yeah, that's all that matters. Yeah. The badge and the boys. Yeah.
The boys' badges.
I wish I putted better today, if I'm honest. Today I felt like I didn't putt as well, but you kind of live and die by the putter in match play. for sure. And there's always momentum swings with a putter. You make a long one, you steal something, you miss a short one, you gift something. There's a lot of pressure on the putter. Putter's a huge key, and obviously the way the golf course was set up this week as well, the putter was a very, very key club in the bag. And obviously, yeah, it worked beautifully for me for most of the week. And then I would say today, I would probably rue it a little bit, if I'm honest. So, you live and die by it.
Kevin?
John, I want to start this with you, John, but anybody else can pick it up after you're done. In America, we seem to be under a constant quest of what makes a good captain. We're still trying to figure it out. I'm curious what you think. What makes Luke such a good leader of men?
There's so many things that Luke has done outstandingly professionally, so perfect that it's hard to say one. Without getting too much into it, the level of professionalism he's showed us the last 4 years, his attention to detail in his pose, and his knowledge of the Ryder Cup and the game, and what we do on the golf course day in, day out was made these last 2 Ryder Cups possible. He's the captain of this ship, and he's led us better than I can see anybody leading us. He set the bar extremely high for the future captains.
Anybody else interested in following that? What do you think makes Luke as good as he is?
Just have a good 12 guys.
No, it's more than that. His communication skills.
Let's not give it away.
Yeah, he's just all right.
I'll shut up. No, I think, look, he...
How about that?
Let it be, Rory, let it be.
The thing that's most inspiring, though, is to see him how he's grown as a leader as well. I think over the course of 4 years,
2 more
the incredible commitment to himself and therefore the team has been unbelievable to witness.
In Ireland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kyle?
No comment.
I'll throw it back to you, Luke. I think often, to kind of follow up what KVV was saying, with the Americans, they say, well, the Europeans just played better, they made more putts, etc. The more often that happens, the more it seems like the 2-year buildup to that, all the attention to detail, all the infrastructure you guys have in place, it's why you play better. It's why you make more putts. Can you speak to what that attention to detail is like in that lead up to the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I really have committed myself to this job because I feel I owe it to the players and I owe it to the Ryder Cup, which has been so special to me. I've had so many incredible experiences. So, yeah, I've had to kind of put my own game a little bit to the side, and every day I'm trying to think about things that could help us, come up with different things that might just give us a little edge. We came into this in New York. We knew New York was not going to be easy. It was rough. It was brutal at times out there. It really was. It was nasty sometimes. But I think when you prep these guys enough and you communicate enough with these guys, and you give them a plan and an idea and a theme and a motivation. They don't really need motivating, but the theme kind of causes the cohesion of the team. And I was very fortunate to have 11 of the same guys from Rome, but and brother. My job is literally to give these guys a better chance to win, and can be as simple as some very small things. I'll give you an example. At the hotel rooms this week, the doors to our hotel rooms had a big crack, and it let in light. We brought things that covered the light. We put different shampoos that had a better smell. We had the
Labo, if anyone's wondering, really nice. Really nice.
We changed the bedding because the beds weren't very good. and they just had sheets, and we created a much nicer bed so guys could sleep. They could have more energy. So those are just little things, but I mean, I'm going into some really small details, but
Snacks for everyone.
I tell you what, they won't need to change the bed linen in their manner. Let me tell
no,
you that.
1,500 a night. But it's just taking the time and having the care that you want to do everything you can to kind of give these guys the best opportunity. You want to create an environment where they can succeed. These are 12 amazing players. We know that. So you're just trying to, again, put them in a position where they feel comfortable.
Dylan?
Yeah, Ludwig, 2 years ago, you were a pretty fresh face as a pro. Yesterday probably wasn't your favorite day. Today, you ended up with the only blue flag on the board. What did this week and today mean to you?
Last time in Rome, it was sort of a whirlwind for me. Obviously, just turned pro a couple of months prior, but felt a little bit more comfortable this week, I guess, knowing a little bit more what to expect. But yeah, today I was proud of the way that I played, and I'm proud of, being a part of this team. There's 11 guys that I've, have tremendous joy to have been a part of, and a captain that I'm so happy that he put trust in me, and I'm just trying to repay that by playing good golf. Today is a day that I'm going to remember for a very, very long time.
James?
Shane, you had the winning moment today. I guess I'm wondering when you woke up this morning if you thought there was any chance that you would be the guy to finish it out. And if you could just take us into that moment on 18, what was going through your head?
Yeah, you only retained it, Shane.
Just calm.
Daryl won us the Ryder Cup, by the way. But like it was a bit of two pull from 10.
Gosh, Shane.
To be honest, no. Like I obviously I have faith in my team to go out, and I thought we were going to win the Ryder Cup early today. But it's not that we weren't all going out to win our own match. That was the main goal. And look, Luke, we were well prepped on that last night. Like, you don't want to take any complacency out there to that arena against those players. Like, the US team are 12 amazing players, and we knew it was going to be very hard. But I didn't envision myself going up the 18th needing a birdie to retain the Ryder Cup. It was the worst 2 hours of my life. It was horrible. Honestly, it was. But I said to my caddy walking down 18, I said, I've got an opportunity to do the greatest thing I've ever done today, and I did it, and I'm very proud of myself. And
up here to Adam.
Rory, obviously between winning the Masters and today, you've been a part of some seriously emotional final days. I'm just curious about how you manage your emotions in big moments.
You try to, you have, something in your way or something ahead of you, and you just try to, for me, the easiest thing is just to break it down into smaller pieces. So, as much of it as is a cliche, whether it's one shot at a time. Today, it was, honestly, it was like 1 foot in front of the other. I felt like I was running on empty today. I give so much of myself the first 2 days, and I tried as hard as I could out there against Scott. Scotty and I both didn't have our best. It was a bit of a pillow fight, if I'm honest. But I dug in as much as I could. I held that putt on 15, and I just tried to stay on my own little bubble as much as possible. It was obviously quite difficult to do that at times, but I just knew every hole that I completed was a little bit closer to that goal that we all had in mind, and that was really the important thing. I was so appreciative to the VCs and Luke and everyone that was out there. Thomas Bjorn walked with me a lot today, and he kept encouraging me. He kept just saying 7 more holes, 6 more holes, 5 more holes, and just to have know that you've got that support of your team. It means a lot, especially in an environment like that out there.
Adam Strupak.
A question for Zeb. You had some exciting, stressful weeks. Now you're daddy of 2 boys and of 2 Ryder Cups. And 2 Ryder Cups. How does it sound for you? How does it feel?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The last couple of months have been a bit of a roller coaster for my wife and I. Little Thomas is doing well. He's in the hospital, but he's doing well. And these guys, Luke and everybody, has been so unbelievable in supporting me. And I can't thank everybody enough for the support that you guys have shown me throughout this whole thing. I cannot thank everybody enough.
Congrats from Austria.
Adam?
Luke, over. If you're asked to do this, if you're asked to do 2 more years, what's your answer?
2 more years.
My answer is I'm going to enjoy tonight.
All right. Justin was the leader in strokes gained putting, but who's going to be the leader in strokes gained partying tonight?
Sepp. Sepp will stay undefeated.
Yeah. I don't know. In Rome, I was leaving for the airport, and I still saw Tyrrell.
People think it's me, but I'll be done early.
No. Sepp, hands down.
We'll have some fun.
It's Austrian blood.
Rosie. Dark horse in the back right.
I got a bit scared of myself after 2018.
Fitzy has to do his no first.
Fitzy has to fill in his stat sheet from today.
Alan?
This is for Luke, right over here to your left. Europe dominated last decade. You guys are in position to do that again this decade. The sort of key connector between those eras is Rory. What does he mean to this team? Not just
You guys told us we wouldn't win one for 20 years, though.
What about that decade of dominance, Alan?
No?
Well, I failed to factor in the captains and what a big difference they make. And what does Rory mean to you guys? Not just his play, but his leadership and his confidence and all that intangibles.
Look, you need your big players to step up. Looking at Rome, Victor was our FedEx Cup champ. We had Rory, we had John. They had 10.5 points without playing together once in Rome. This week, Rory's won 4 out of 5. John, 3 out of 5.
It's my fault.
You argue Tommy maybe is, 4 out of 5.
Go on, Tommy.
Go on, Tommy.
You absolutely need your big guns to fire, and I think that's what we're proud of is that the U.S. guys, big guys, the guns, they didn't get as many points as ours. And Rory has made no qualms about how important the Ryder Cup is to him. And I think that's inspiring to me. It's inspiring to his team. Maybe not quite on the same level as winning the Grand Slam and the Masters, but it's pretty effing close. It really is. He's talked to me about it many times, about how he wants to win an away Ryder Cup and how difficult that is. So to have someone, of Rory's caliber fighting so hard, that's inspiring for the team. And, see, we can't do it alone, but it's very helpful when, someone like Rory is contributing like he does.
I mean, just related to that, when we talk about a player's place in history, it's always individual achievements. But if Rory wins 8 or 9 Ryder Cups, if he goes on to be the leading point earner, how does that elevate him in the conversation?
The Ryder Cup weeks are the best weeks of our lives. We talk about this all the time. Those individual accolades are fun. We individually, we're we want to achieve as much as we can. Rory has achieved so much in the game. His place in history is set. But I think those weeks we spend together are the ones we remember the most and we cherish the most because of the times we get to spend with each other. That's a big part of my captaincy, is to create an environment where these guys having the best weeks of their lives, honestly. We'll always remember this. We'll always go down in history. We talk about all the people that came before us, that paved the way for us. Now future generations will talk about this team tonight and what they did and how they were able to overcome one of the toughest environments in all of sport. And that is inspiring to me. And that's what Rory gets and all these other 11 guys get as well.
Up to 13.
Rory, how sustainable for the game of golf is the level of abuse that you and others I know but received this weekend? I mean, is it something that you just have to accept, or is it something that's taking the game in a dangerous direction?
No, I don't think we should ever accept that in golf. I think golf should be held to a higher standard than what was seen out there this week. Golf has the ability to unite people. Golf teaches you very good life lessons. It teaches you etiquette. It teaches you how to play by the rules. It teaches you how to respect people. And sometimes this week we didn't see that. So no, this should not be what is acceptable in the Ryder Cup. But we will be making sure to say to our fans in Ireland in 2027 that what happened here this week is not acceptable. And it's for me, it's come and support your home team. Come and support your team. I think if I was an American, I would be annoyed that I didn't hear a lot of shouts for Scotty today, but I heard a lot of shouts against me. And it's like, support your players. That's the thing. So, look, it was a rough week for all of us. But at the same time, we shut them up by our performance and how we played. And we tried to, I chirped back a few times because it got to me a few times, but we tried to handle everything that came our way with class and poise, and for the most part, I felt like we did that.
Mike 12. You have a question?
Well, I was going to ask a similar question to Ollie, really, but when you've got police dogs and the police coming in, were you aware when that was happening? And have you ever seen anything quite like that on a golf course before when you've been playing?
Wish they had to let the dogs off the leashes. No, honestly, like the amount, like the police out there and the amount of the security presence was insane. And it's not like nothing was going to happen. Nothing was going to happen where there wasn't really going to be any sort of physical altercation or anything like that, apart from maybe Tommy and Rosie up to the 16th tee yesterday. But look, there was a lot of language that was unacceptable and abusive behavior. And but look, it's a minority of the crowd. It's not the majority. The majority of people here are true golf fans and are respectful and let both teams have the same chance to hit the shots and play a fair contest. But there was a small subset of people that behaved a little bit differently than that.
Up to 19.
Rory, it's one thing when the abuse is directed at you guys as players. That's bad enough. But it seemed to spill over to sort of friends and family, the entourages of you guys. Obviously, there was a lot of people inside the ropes this week, but videos come out yesterday of a beer being thrown at your wife. Firstly, is she okay? She seemed upset, obviously, after that. That's obviously something no one wants to go through.
Yeah.
What was your view on that situation and just, the direction of this event as a whole with that in mind, that families
Yeah,
don't feel
look,
comfortable
that's,
inside the ropes?
I mean, it's it should be off limits, but obviously it wasn't this week. But Erica's fine. She is a very, very strong woman, and you know, she handled everything this week with class and poise and dignity, like she always has. And I love her, and we're going to have a good time celebrating tonight.
Can I just pick up on that, if you don't mind? Because I actually had no idea that Erica had a beer thrown at her yesterday. So fair play to Erica. She didn't bring that to the team room. We didn't make that a big deal. That's news to me, that says a lot about the strength of Erica and everybody in this team. That
I was out there.
taking those
I was out there
So
for
that-
2 days
I
with
didn't know
Erica
that happened.
McElroy, and the amount of abuse that she received was astonishing. And the way she was out there supporting her husband and supporting her team was unbelievable. And kudos to her for that.
Go on, Erica.
And Rory, with all that in mind, everything you go through, how satisfying is it to turn around to someone and say, quote, "Shut the F up," and then stiff it to 2 feet?
Very fucking satisfying.
Congratulations.
It wasn't stiff. It wasn't stiff. I had to put it.
Anyone got a question for the FedEx Cup champ? No?
Tommy, what did you see over that putt?
What did I what?
What did you see over that putt that Rory left you with?
Right edge?
Right centre. Just pushed it in.
Too
the right
busy
side.
counting all that money from the FedEx Cup.
Mike 6.
Yeah, Luke, Rory and Shane together looks like a no-brainer on paper. Was it a plan that you had for a long time? And how important was that role Shane played for Rory yesterday? He was like the big brother and the bouncer and the security guard and everything else rolled into one.
Well, our plan for Friday was pretty set pretty early on. You obviously sometimes have to make adjustments, but we felt everyone was playing well. Everyone had an opportunity to play and contribute to the team, and we were excited about the team we had and the form they were in and how close they were. Obviously, Shane and Rory hadn't played together in a Ryder Cup before, right?
We played about 15 holes in Whistling Straits.
It was very unforgettable.
Don't even remember that.
I just need another one of these.
But again,
You ran out.
yeah, these pairings.
See, he doesn't know everything.
I got to give a lot of props to Eduardo. Eduardo and I sit down and we chat for many, many hours about all the kinds of different stats and the pairings and the personalities and the course fits. And, when you have a partnership like Rory and Shane, they get along obviously amazingly well. And, I think in four balls, that's really important. But it was a pretty natural pairing. I think everyone wants to play with Rory.
Yep.
There's not many people, when I say anyone you don't want to play with, Rory's name doesn't come up very often. So, and to be honest, none of these guys' names come up very often. Often the answer is, I'll play with anyone. And that's what makes me proud as a leader. It's just the cohesion we have, the unity we have. It makes making pairings quite easy because they all have each other's backs. And if I come up to them and say, "What do you think about this?" They're like, "I trust in you, Luke. Let's go with it." So, again, that is a nice thing to have. It's nice to not have those big egos in the team room.
We'll finish up over here with Gabby.
Luke, you mentioned there was a theme of the week. I was just wondering, can you share what that theme was?
Well, our theme was we were trying to win for a fifth time away. The practice. We talked about it at the beginning of the week. The practice shirts were based off the wins we'd already had away: 87, 95, 04, 2012. 2012. everything we did was sort of centered around that, and to
I'm a fucking moron, apparently.
make the guys feel that we had done it quite often. You know, in 10 Ryder Cups since '83, we'd won 4 of them, and we come damn close 3 other times. So this wasn't an impossible task. We knew it was going to be difficult, but you want to inspire them to know that it can be done. You know, my job again is to give them the reasons to make them believe that they can win, and so that was really our theme.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.